Perfect. So welcome everyone. The recording is on. So we are recording our session. Again, a very quick reminder that if you do not want to be recorded accidentally, we hope not to record your videos, feel free to turn the videos off. So that way we will make sure that you're not in our recording that we will be sharing with everyone. I want to welcome all of you, and in the chat, I will be posting a link to our slides that we will be using today. But you will see that during this session, we are going to go through some of the content directly. So I'm not going to wait and start. Quickly introduce myself. My name is Monica. I have been with AlphaPlus for 20 plus years, so it's a long time. I love technology, but it can get overwhelming sometimes. Even for us, those who are using technology every day, we are always learning and trying different things, but we totally understand when things can get tricky and overwhelming. Now, at AlphaPlus, I do a lot of coaching and tech support. So what that means is I work with the programs to help them get more comfortable with technology. And we do that often through coaching, through training sessions, workshops like the one today, and anything else the programs ask us to do. The Lunch and Learn sessions you're joining today is a new initiative for us this year, and they're really only 30 minutes. So you're going to see me running through some of the content quickly, but we really just want to let you know that this idea is to make you more comfortable and feature some of the specific tips and tools that may be helpful for you. There is more information on our website if you want to learn more, but of course you did because you registered for today. However, this is a 30-minute session, so we won't be able to cover everything. And tools like Canva are very, very big and they have a lot of different options. So what we are doing today is really kind of highlighting some of the features that I hope you will find helpful. Now, just to give you a bit of background with Canva, it has been around for a while. And I at AlphaPlus do our social media and some of the graphics. And we used InDesign, we use Photoshop, and those things get very expensive. And they're kind of really complicated to use sometimes. So when Canva came out, we started using it and switched very quickly to that tool. I have to say at AlphaPlus for all our social media, this is the tool we are using all the time. Our team members are using it as well. And then we basically applied for a nonprofit account, and I'll explain more about that a bit later. But as you're joining in and kind of thinking about how you're using Canva, I want to ask you, do you use Canva at work? And then kind of give me an idea. Do you use it a lot? Do you use it just sometimes? Never before. So you will see I just opened the slide where you can see a QR code that you can scan, or you can go to slido.com website and you can put the code that's displayed on the screen, and that will allow you to answer the question that I have for you. And you will see the answers on the screen as they're coming in. So that way we'll get a better idea of where you are and see how are you the Canva user. Is it work? Is it a lot? Is it sometimes? So it will be interesting to see the answers. So I can see in the corner the number of participants is going up. So far, 27 participants answered. A lot, so perfect. So we may be able to learn some of those things from you. That's great. But if you're just starting, I really hope you will like some of the tips and ideas as well, because you're learning, you're exploring different things as well. All right, so 33, 34, you're still answering the questions, but many of you are using it a lot, which is great. This is a really, really good tool to use. All right. So thank you for that indication. It was helpful to see that we have some of you who are just starting and some of you who are really using Canva a lot. I use Canva almost every day, but I don't use all the features every day. So even preparing for the session today, I was realizing, oh, I haven't even tried this before, or I didn't even know this exists in Canva. And this tool is really expanding and growing almost every day now. So for those of you who are just starting, Canva is really a graphic design platform tool that you can use to create all kinds of graphic designs, from presentations to bookmarks, through flyers, to stickers, t-shirts, all kinds of promotional materials that you may want to do, even websites now, presentations, even whiteboards now. So there's a lot of different things that are new as well as we are doing. And it's starting to have a lot of AI tools that are being built in, and tools for photo editing, removing background, and so on. So it's a very, very nice tool that's available. If you're a nonprofit organization, you can apply for a nonprofit account and you're going to get Canva Pro, which will be 100% free for your organization. So you will get the paid features for free as a nonprofit organization. I was just checking today, and the price, if you're not a nonprofit, is around $150 per year per user. So a single person will have to pay around $150. So you really can get a really good tool if you're a nonprofit organization. Now, I just want to really highlight that as we are going through the presentation and I'm showing you different things, I want to make sure that at AlphaPlus, we are using Canva Pro, which is the nonprofit account. So you will see me using features that you may not have in a free account. And also the examples and screen captures I'm using is through Mac device. So it may be slightly different than what you will see in Windows. Now, this is where I'm going to stop with the slides and I'm going to go live to Canva. But before I do that, I actually checked just yesterday if there's a desktop version of Canva, and there is. But I have always used the web version. And people who are using the desktop version say it's very similar to the browser. So you can choose to actually download Canva to your computer and use the desktop version. For me, I have always used the browser, so I'm just going to go into the browser and share with you and navigate through it that way. Okay, so I'm going to land on Canva, but as I'm doing that one more time, I'm just going to post the slides for those of you who are just joining us to make sure everybody has access. And I will want to make sure that I also answer all the questions I included in the slides. So I just have it on the side to make sure that we can see the same thing and I can go over that. So you're looking at Canva dashboard. I call it dashboard. It's the landing page, it's the home page. And just from the beginning, if you're new to Canva, there is a lot of things on the screen. So I just want to assure you that you get used to it. You kind of know where to go and you get used to the layout. But one thing that I want to show you is even right on top, when you go in, you can search for all kinds of different templates. There are some categories you can choose from to start with. And then if there's even a Canva AI section. Let me see if I can do a pointer, so it will be a bit easier to show you. So there's a Canva AI section that's new as well. Usually when you go to your landing page, you're going to have some of the recent designs, and you will see my goat example in the slides. So I'll explain very soon what that means. But on the left, you also have a menu and all kinds of different shortcuts. So just that orientation, it takes a bit of time to get used to it. One thing that I want to highlight is that if you ever get lost in your Canva, whether you're in the design or somewhere, looking for the Canva logo and clicking on it, looking for home button and clicking on it, or the hamburger menu, those tools will take you to this kind of landing page. And that will help with some of the navigation as you're getting used to your tools. Now, if you want to create something and then start from scratch in a way, let's take a quick look at what you can do. So if I go to the section where I can search, I'm just going to type in literacy. This was one of the things I wanted to try and show you that without even trying to design anything, when you search for the topic, there will be a lot of presentations, designs, flyers that will be coming up for you that you can just click on and repurpose for your specific needs. I usually don't go and search for literacy. I usually go and design from scratch, specifically on the purpose, and usually it's social media. Sometimes it will be reports, sometimes posters. But if you have a specific topic you're looking for, that search may be a good starting point. Now, when you choose any of those designs, and then I'm going to close that and go back to my Canva, just to start from the dashboard, you can see you have all kinds of layouts here as well. Presentations, social media, all kinds of different layouts you can start with. So what I like to do is choose one that I need, but sometimes I really want to do custom size. For example, you may be looking for stickers that you may want to print. There's a custom size option. And that can be very helpful because you can put in the specific dimensions you're looking for and start the design that way. You will notice that there is pixels, inches, and centimeters. So you can actually choose the design based on your needs. If you're designing for the web, you very likely will do pixels. And it's good to have over 1,000 pixels for a good website design. But you may also do inches. Like if you're doing 8.5 by 11 design, that may be the best way to choose that. Just for today, I will just do 3 by 3. Let's say it's going to be a sticker. And as soon as I choose that layout, I will start getting suggestions and the different designs I can choose from. So those are the design suggestions I can try, or I can go to elements which is the layouts that I can do on my own. And I can bring in different shapes. I can bring text. I can look for different things. Just for the sake of today and for a bit of fun, I'm going to look for a goat. And then it was just one of the topics I thought. As soon as I look for a goat, I will get options in the graphics. So I can choose drawings and graphics. I can choose photos. And then there will be also videos and sound files if I need those for my designs. So I can choose any of them, but pay attention to the graphic. If you see the crown on it, that basically means those are the pro account features. So only those with a nonprofit pro or paid pro will actually get those graphics. The free account will have options. They will be limited though. And you will have an option to pay for a graphic if you wanted to, but they will charge you around $1 to $2 for graphic, and they will have specific restrictions on how you can use that graphic. So sometimes being able to pay for a pro right away or getting the nonprofit account may be a bit more helpful. So I can look at the different photos if I want and kind of scroll through different designs and see what options I will have. Now, you see in my slides, if you're looking at those that I chose a very specific design, I'm going to choose that as well. And you can see I can resize it to anything I want. And then I can play with the sizing. I can shift it by just moving it around, and I can work on that graphic very quickly. So now I just started the design. I put in the graphic in there, and I'm ready. Now, you may have a situation where you really like the graphic and you just want the graphic on its own. If you went and clicked share to download it, the system won't let you because this is not a stock photo website. This is graphic design. So if I click on share and I say I want to download the graphic, it's just going to say no. Take a quick look right there. It will say failed because it's only one image. It's a design tool, so they want you to do at least 2 designs. So my very quick tip, just for that even, we can add text. So let's put in a text, and I'm just going to say hello on it. And again, I can put it in, I can resize it, and I can put the text right on the hello. If I click share now to download it, it's going to allow me because I have more than 2 items on the design, so I can download it. But here's a tip. If you really just want the picture, you can hide the hello or anything else you put behind the image. So I can go put it to the back, and then the hello disappears, and I can still download it because there is a graphic behind. It's not visible, but there's a graphic behind it. So the system will let you use images in that way and download them and repurpose them for your slides, presentations, and so on. And Judy is asking, any copyright or intellectual property involved? Basically, with the Pro, you can use the images in any way you want. So it is basically your Pro account actually helps you cover that. When you start purchasing images, you start getting restrictions on how you can use them. You can also bring your own images. So if you are looking for something specific, you have pictures from the events, you can bring those in through the uploads and then include them in your designs. So hopefully that explains that. Now, not only I can bring different images, I can even animate the images. So if I click on my picture, there's an animation button. I can click on it, and on the left, I'm giving all kinds of options on how I may want to animate it. So I can do different features like that. I can do paintings, splashes, whatever I want and choose. I can apply that to my design. So I'm just going to quickly do the digital box, and you can see it kind of opens in a digital way. It actually is set up to 5 seconds, but you can change the time to whatever you want. And then if I go and click share and download, I can download it as MP4 file, can be posted on social media, can be uploaded to YouTube if you want, or I can even download it as a GIF. So we have seen all kinds of GIFs. You can create GIFs in Canva as well using the animation features. So those are some of the quick tips, just even about the images you may be using and creating in Canva as well. Now we talked about download, and then we can choose the MP4 videos. What I want to show you quickly, I don't know if how many of you have used the background remover. My goat has a blue background. What if I don't want the blue background? Before, you could click on edit, and on the left, you got all kinds of different tools to use to manage your design. One of them is background remover. It also now is added right here in the bar, so it's a bit faster. So if I click on it, It's going to take a second and the background is removed. I can't tell you how many times we have dealt with organizations who have logos with some kind of background and they repurpose or just even white black square. Sometimes you may want to remove or change those backgrounds. So this tool allows you to bring the graphic in and actually remove the backgrounds or change the backgrounds if you want as well. So I can remove the background or I can also change and add background. So there is generator in there as well. So the edit button right above the image gives you all kinds of different tools. If I click on it, there was the background remover, which I applied. There's also a generator. So if I click on it, I'm starting to see AI. And in the AI, I can say meadow with trees. And you can select whatever you want. There's also an option to be inspired by AI, so they will do it for you. And I'm going to click generate, and the system is going to work for a few minutes and hopefully apply something that will make sense. But there's so many options in there. You can play with colors, backgrounds, whatever you want to do. So the image now not only comes from Canva, I can actually manipulate it in many different ways. Now, I have the sheep, and look at the sheep in the background. Isn't that amazing? But there's 4 different designs. I can choose a different one that has only trees, or again, slightly different design. So it gives me suggestions, and if I accept it, I have a totally new image with a different background in it. That all comes from the tools that are included in the edit option. Now, there's even more to it. Among those tools is a tool that is called Magic Edit. So I'm going to click on that. Similar idea, it takes the image I have, and now it's asking me, what do you want to do? I'm going to click brush, and I'm going to put just a circle around the gold. So if you are able to guess what I'm doing, I'm just going to say, I want add gold necklace. Necklace. And I hopefully will spell it properly. Of course not. Here we go. And I'm going to generate. Sometimes the results can be very, very different than what you're expecting. So I apologize in advance if it doesn't work the way we are expecting. But I have tested it a few times and it did. It actually adds the necklace. So if you're trying to create funny images, something you want to do, you can actually edit and add those features as well. As you can see, I have different options. Depending on the shape I add it with my brush, I can change that as well. So I'm really happy to see that you can see some of those features as well. And then I really hope that after the session, you will go in and try some of those features, of course, as well. So I'm going to jump back. And remember, I said, whenever you don't know where to go, I'm in this design, but I want to go back. I can click on the hamburger menu. If I click on it, it's going to take me to kind of landing page and I can go home and it's bringing me back to all of my designs that I was working on. So I'm going to go and pick one of the designs I had, let's say one of the designs I worked on. I had some of the colors that I added as well, just my different tests from before. And you can see I have different blue colors and different green colors in there. What if I wanted to get a specific color for something? In Canva, you get the colors that are added automatically. I can click on any of those and I start getting tools on the left. And I can add a new color. There's a plus symbol I can click on. It's going to tell me right now you have selected this blue color, but next to it, there is this pen. If I click on it, it's going to allow me to go anywhere on the image and pick a different color. So I may say, oh, I really like this blue. There's this kind of different blue that I'm looking for. So let's see, my red is coming in, but let's say, okay, here. So red came in and actually apply, but that's not what I want. I'm going to undo this. So there's undo button that I can use, but I can try and continue using and picking the colors I want. So don't know why my red is jumping on it, but there is one. It should be the green color that I'm looking for. It may be picking up from my pointer because I have a pointer. Let me turn that off. I'll do it one more time. I'll take the picker. Okay, and now I have the green. So if I do the green, now you can see it's applying different colors to it as well because I'm changing it. But I can pick the colors I want specifically. And if I pick those colors, it gets added to my list and it's giving me a number. So if I brought in a logo or something that I'm not sure about the colors, I can use the picker to pick up the color and write down the code. This is called hex code for the colors I'm using, and that will help me in the future repurpose the same color in other designs. So that's the color picker for you. Now with the color picker, what is really important in Canva is that you can have a brand. And the brand basically means that you can come in and create add your own logos, add your own colors, and add your own fonts. So whenever you're working and designing different things, that will allow you to have that always ready. At AlphaPlus, we actually have different brand colors. So we have PAL, which is the project we work on. We have chosen specific colors for that. We have our organizational colors that we have chosen, and we also have a project. If I select any of those brand kits, I can see all the logos that are tied to it, all the colors that are selected, and I can quickly just apply them to the design I'm working on. So your brand kit allows you to maintain and be consistent with your fonts, with your colors, and with your logos as well. Okay, I can see there's a lot of comments. The hamburger icon is usually on the left, but sometimes when you're in the design, it will disappear. That's why either hamburger menu or the hamburger menu is the 3 lines. They call it hamburger menu. Canva logo or home will help you. So just quickly to answer some of your questions, top left corner. I'm so happy to see some of you are helping with that. Perfect. And then you are talking about students give permission to use their photo if the last name is removed, for example, on a certificate. Can this be used to erase their last name? Yes, absolutely. You can edit, you can actually wipe out different things, you can take out different parts of the picture, or when you're designing, you can do whatever you want in here. And when you upload those designs, they're not shared publicly, they're just part of your account. Okay, so the pictures and things you're bringing in, they're not affected. So you can see in here, I have multiple pages on this design. So let me just quickly show you, not the best design, but that's okay. What many people are doing is they will do the design, make a copy, a new design, make a copy, a new design, and you have all of a sudden 20 designs that look the same. If you are working on an image, you can be within the same file. So I have the first image and I can replicate by duplicating the page. Just that's what I can do. And now I can make changes to the design. I can duplicate again and make changes to the design. So they're sitting together. Then what I can do is go to share. And if I go to download, I will have an option to choose which design I want to download. I don't have to download them all. I can select just the current image or one of the fourth ones, whichever way I want. If you download multiple images, it will come up as a zip file. If you choose single ones, it's going to just allow you to choose the type of format such as PNG and so on. So very good tip about that because a lot of people kind of recreate and recreate and recreate. Now, another thing that a lot of us are struggling with is, again, going back to the organizational logo. We have a logo with white background. But now on the website or on the design we want to do, we may want to have it transparent so we can overlay it on a different color. Usually, when you work with JPEG images and other images, the white background will always be white. Whenever you download it, it will be white. But if you go into download and you select PNG file, so I'm going to keep it there, you will see there's an option to do transparent background. You have to select it. But if you select it and download the file to your computer, it will be transparent. So when you bring it back into your designs, there will be no white background. It will be kind of clear, and then you'll be able to do it on everything. So I'm going to skip the step of downloading, but that's the idea. You're going to save it to your computer. You can give it a name. I just have one, so I'm going to do it here. Hello Transparent. I'm going to save it. And I can bring it back up through the upload. So I'm going to quickly show you. I already have one. It's hard to see, but it's a bit squarish in the background because it's transparent. So it's showing me this is a transparent one. So if I bring it in, I can have two goats over each other and see how it's transparent. I can just overlay it anywhere I want. So all of a sudden, it could be two goats looking into the picture for me. There you go. No white background. So whenever you want to do transparent, PNG file, make sure that you're downloading it as a transparent file. Okay. So Zeni, you're asking how to extract from zip. On Mac, you double click. On Windows, there's right click, and then you can extract it that way when you download it to your computer. Now, I'm looking at the time, 5 more minutes. I will quickly run through it because some of the things you can really do on your own. So when you look at the image I have right now, I have two goats. When I click on resize, I can actually change the size to whatever I want. So right now I had 3 by 3 inches, but I can go and make it 8.5 by 11 or choose the pictures. I can copy this image, so it will be a separate design, or I can resize this specific one. It's going to take a few minutes, and now my image has totally different dimensions. So if you ever are designing and you just decide, oh, I chose the wrong size, or you already have a design and you want to do something similar, you are able to do that as well. There's also all kinds of settings. I'm not going to go deeply into it, but if you're working with images and haven't tried it, there's settings where you can show rulers and guides. So right now I have it enabled, so I can actually set the lines for myself to make everything easier to measure or organize. I can also turn it off. And then when you choose some of those settings, you can do the bleed. So if you're working with a printer, they will ask for you for bleeds. This is to make sure that they print something to the edge of the paper. So very often you can actually design and see this box that shows up around. That will be the bleed they will want. And when you go and download that file, I'm going to go to download one more time. And I'm going to select just one of those designs, just as an example, current one. And I'm going to say, I want to download for print because your printers want high quality. If you select it, there will be an option to say include crop marks. They will be asking for that. So if you select that, when the file goes to them, they know where to cut it off and make sure they don't have any white space on the edges that shouldn't be there. It will help your design or your printer with that work as well. So settings are very helpful. Now, we often go into sharing, and you can download from sharing. So I can go and download something, but there's options also to include people in your design. And there's two ways. One is basically where you can invite people by email. They will be able to open the design. You can give them permissions to even change the design if they want, or just preview the design if you want. So you can do it that way, or you can create a group or team. There's Teams option in Canva where you can invite other people who do not have a pro account into your account. And basically they will be coming in with their own email, joining your pro account and seeing the pro features to work with you on different designs. I'm going to highlight though, when you invite someone, it doesn't mean they see all the designs. They will only see the designs that were shared with the team. So it doesn't mean everybody now has access to everything and can delete everything. It just means they will have a permission to work with you on specific designs and will have the features, the pro features that you're looking for to be able to work with you. And they could even see the brand kit so they can work with you on the designs as well. So we talked about sharing. We talked about teams. I'm going to jump into AI and I'm going to go back to my hamburger menu. That's usually my quick way to go back. And one more time, if I click on Canva or hamburger, there is the search box on top and the Canva AI. This one has a lot of different features where it will do the graphics for you, or it will give you different templates. So many choices to choose from, and usually it will go based on your instructions. So I need a flying dog. Just as an example, you put it in, it's going to create images for you that you can now repurpose. You can say, I want a presentation about something. It will give you templates and presentations as well. So AI is making a huge difference now in the actual. So flying dog adventures, flying dog, it's telling me, I'm not sure what you want to do. I will say image of a flying. So let's see if it will do that. It did it for me before, so hopefully it will do it again. So it's working on the images. So your AI is built in and it can make a huge difference. Here we go. We have a flying dog. You can do whatever you want with it. So the last thing I really want to highlight for you is the presentations, websites, and whiteboards. So again, I'm just going to go to the starting page. All my recent designs are at the bottom, but here I have the different layouts. There's a whiteboard, there's presentations, and there's websites. Presentations, it's very similar to what you do with your Microsoft presentations, PowerPoint. You can design here and download as a PowerPoint. You can share directly from Canva. Websites, similar idea. You design the pages. It gives you a link to point to. You will actually be able to almost publish your website. And then there's the whiteboard. And I'm going to quickly jump to the whiteboard because a lot of teachers work with students and want to do whiteboards as activities. So there will be all kinds of templates you can choose from, But what I did in my slides, you're going to see I actually created a whiteboard, and I'm going to put the link to it. I just have to copy it in the chat. See, I always think we have more time than we do, and time is running out. So let me just quickly put it in. Now, if you click on it, I really hope you will be able to join me, and I'm going to open the whiteboard here so we can see it together. You will be able to join me, and there will be all kinds of different tools that you may have seen in whiteboards, in Zoom whiteboard, on other tools, and I can see you're navigating and using different things. It's similar to other designs. I go in and say, I want a whiteboard. I put a question, and then I can give you instructions, and you're coming in and you're working with me on Canva. Sharing is share, get a link to it and share it to other people. So a lot of tools like the presentations, I knew about them, but I have never really used them much because I'm more comfortable with slides. But the white website and whiteboard, those are really new things. So I can see you're playing with it and drawing on it. Amazing tools, all kinds of different things that I think you will like. And it's 1 o'clock, so I know I need to stop. I skipped the presentation and website, but they're very, very clear when you go into the actual templates you're using. I also highlighted that in my presentations and so slides. So I hope you will find that useful. I know some of you may have to go. So some of you are still having fun with the whiteboard. Have fun with it. It was as simple as just putting 2 lines of text and sending you a link and you're playing with it right within Canva. I'm going to jump back and then just really make sure that I take you to the end. I want to make sure that you know that you can do the feedback for me. Let me know if there's anything else that I need to know about or share, maybe a new topic for next month. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate it. And here is the feedback form in case you have a bit of time to fill it out. I also want to just quickly highlight, if you have a few more minutes to stay, let me just jump to the end. Sorry about that. Jumping to the end of the slides. There will be more sessions in the fall. So again, this was a quick marathon to give you a bit of overview, some of the tips that I found very helpful. For me, the being able to remove the background, transparency when you're downloading images, those are sort of the biggest highlights for me. There's a lot of things you can design on the layouts. But there will be more topics September, November, January, February. If you have a chance to fill out the feedback form, let us know what else you will be interested in. I will be happy to highlight that. If you want more Canva, if this is too much, if you want slower pace, if you want to really one-on-one, I'm happy to meet with you. We can do things together. We can involve you in the coaching side as well. So you can come in and work with us over the year, all kinds of different ways to do that. So as you're leaving, please feel free to and take a few minutes to do the feedback form if you have time. If you don't, I will send it as a follow-up as well. And on that note, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I know there was a few comments in the chat. So what I'm going to do is I'll just quickly go back and review the questions. Those who ask questions, please stay a few more minutes. I will be happy to answer and give you the tips you're looking for. For the rest of you, thank you for joining in. I really appreciate all the time you spent with me. I know you have to go, so I really appreciate that. I'm going to just also quickly turn off the recording.